What's going on, Jeromes? Beautiful day for some Q&A. Let's fire it up. First one is Pluto Trey. What positions, rooms, depth, not starters, has most improved this minicamp? So it's not a concern because there's a ton of talent there, but the backup O-line unit. So basically, the only one that you could really put a stake in his role is Justin School. All right, so the swing tackle coming in from the Buccaneers. He's been getting first-team reps at left tackle with Darisaw out at OTAs. So he's really the only one. Now, everything else is up for grabs, and Brandel, TBD. If they keep him, it's going to be a pay cut or cut situation. All right, and also, does his ego allow him to be a backup? We'll see. Will Fry's out at OTAs. Brandel had been filling in at right guard. Something to keep note of. I think Michael Juergens is going to make a very solid case for backup center. Last year's 7th-round pick. Henry Bird they like a lot. He's been on the practice squad. Walter Rouse is my freaking guy. But who's going to stay on the roster? Who's going to stay on the practice squad? So I think teams usually keep 9 O-linemen on the 53 and usually 2 or 3 offensive linemen on the practice squad. So now also you have UDFA Logan Brown from Kansas/Wisconsin, Zeke Corral, because why not have another undersized NC State center? Zeke Corral is like 285 pounds, right? And then Joe Huber, guard from Wisconsin, could be in that mix as well as Marcellus Johnson. Does he look like? As well as Leroy Watson. All right, so there's going to be a lot of Yankee swapping going on and a lot of competition. That's something that I love is you need to have depth, especially along the offensive line. And the first team offensive line is the freaking Avengers, but stuff happens, right? And you need players that you can feel confident in stepping in as well as for the future, by the way. I mean, these guys, Ryan Kelly's on a 2-year deal. Who's going to be center of the future? Could it be Michael Juergens? Could he rise on up, right? And there's a ton of talent there, and it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out in training camp, joint practices, preseason, etc. Next, Chase Essex. Ooh, OG Jerome, I like this one. If you had to choose between Prime Randy Moss or JJ, who would you pick as a burp? I believe a case could be made for either. So Randy Moss was such a unique wide receiver. There hadn't been a player like him before him, and there hasn't been a player like him since, right? Just that 6'4", 6'5", 4.3 speed, take the top off the defense. I mean, there's games where Randy Moss had 2 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, or 3 for whatever and 3, like in that Thanksgiving game, famously against the Cowboys, right? Both of them have such a gravitational pull, because the thing I love the most is that the year after Randy Moss debuted in 98, in 1999, the Packers draft, the first 3 picks were on defensive backs because they knew, man. But I think in terms of, because Randy, I don't know, just Randy, it didn't work out and they got traded to Oakland. Basically had 2 empty seasons in Oakland, went to the Patriots, had some great time there, and then he was done there, and then came back to the Vikings for like a month. That was such a fever dream month in 2010. Randy Moss was literally catching balls from Bert Favre. Crazy, man. But in terms of longevity, in terms of staying power, I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. And stylistically, even though he's a lot faster than Jerry Rice was, I think that he's as smooth of a route runner. He's a yards after the catch dynamo. I think that he does have that staying power like a Jerry Rice. And I think that Jefferson honestly could threaten Jerry Rice's all-time receiving record, even though it's like 22 bajillion thousand yards, right? But Jefferson's so, like, there's been a lot of receivers like Justin Jefferson. He's just a better version of them. Right? You look at Chad Ochocinco. You look at Amari Cooper. You look at Jerry Rice, like we mentioned. Okay, maybe Jerry Rice is pretty good, right? There's been a lot of, don't want to say possession receivers, but athletic possession receiver plus, where just squeaky clean with the route running, and there hasn't been a receiver like that absorbs the double and triple teams at the frequency of Justin Jefferson, right? So, like we said, in a way, they're kind of similar in that they open up everything else on offense, right? And players can take advantage of that. And Addison's openly talked about how it's very easy to play opposite of Justin Jefferson at times, right? But I personally, I had to pick one for a whole career to bet on, I would take Jefferson. I think that he's more consistent. I think that there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows during Randy Moss's career. I think Jefferson is going to be more consistent, right? But honestly, you really can't go wrong with either. Fantastic. Both going to go down as some of the GOATs as wide receiver. Next, Tim Lindsay. After we win our first Jerome Barty this year, after all this time waiting, how do you think it will change us as Vikings fans? I may need to spend some time in Aaron's ayahuasca retreat to find myself smoking crack in a cave. All right, but I don't think it'll change us much, you know? Because, so first off, like, the Vikings have had some very good teams, and there hasn't been the bandwagon fans. Like, this is not going to be a Seattle, oh, the 12s. Kind of makes you feel bad for the hardcore Seattle fans because a whole bunch of new jabronis came along during the Legion of Boom era. But I don't think there will be new bandwagon Vikings fans because there would have been bandwagon already. But overall, I think we'll still be sort of negative Nancy, passive-aggressive, gallows humor type fans, you know. But that's perfectly fine. That's what makes us, and that's what makes us very lovable, right? But I think we're entering a golden era. Honestly, with Kevin O'Connell, with Jefferson, with Darius when he gets back, and of course with J.J. frickin' McCarthy, like, this could be a team that has sustained success and brings home multiple Super Bowls. All right. It's almost like you don't want to say it because you get itchy. It makes you feel good. Yeah, but I'm not going to change. Although, I can't wait for that live stream as the Vikings kneeling down, running out the clock, hoisting that Jerome Barty. I am going to be so unbearable. Also, I might do like a 24-hour stream just talking immense amounts of ish until my voice is hoarse and sore. Maybe there'll be a Four Loko in there. I don't know. Next, 54 Falk. Did you watch the hour-long Harrison Smith highlight video on NFL YouTube channel? Yes. Yeah, you know that meme where it's an attractive woman. She's like, what would you do with an hour with me? This. We would watch this. Yes. It would probably be an hour if you count all the ads. But Harrison Smith, I mean, the hits, the picks, the sticks, everything, man. Like, Harrison Smith is still a top 25 safety, but Harrison Smith was a dude back in the day. Absolute dude, man. He was just fantastic. And win one for him. Just one. Send him out into the sunset with that Super Bowl freaking ring, man. Let's go. He deserves it. Yeah. Lastly, Ethan Griffith, OG Jerome. How should I deep clean my grill to start the year? It is in some bad shape. So, start of the year. So, I actually use my smoker way more than the grill nowadays, or the Blackstone. But, so what I always do to start the year with the grill, whether it's, well, specifically gas grill, replace the grates if they need it. You can get non-OEM grates that fill in pretty easily, and the parts. And I know a lot of people go like the chemical route. I try not to because it sort of creeps me out, you know, because like I understand you use like the oven stuff and you're still cooking stuff in the oven, but I just feel like the grill and the direct flame is a little bit different, right? But what I'll do is, you know, get in there with, well, first off, wear gloves. Otherwise, that's going to be a trip. And then steel wool, just scrape down everything, and then shop vac everything out. And this applies to grills as well as, you know, pellet smokers and regular smokers, charcoal grills, whatnot. And then hit it with just soap and water. Maybe some vinegar in there as well. And just really just go at it. You know, new steel wool, just every single surface, whatever. Rinse it out really good. And so what I like to do is either vegetable oil or avocado oil, something with a high smoke point, obviously. Take it. It's almost like you're seasoning a cast iron pan or, you know, a Blackstone, and basically just like put a thin layer of oil on every inside surface, and then crank her up, whether it's the grill or the smoker, and just really let it burn everything off, and you're gonna be good to go for another year. So that's basically it. I think the main thing is just getting rid of all those chunks. So that's why the vacuuming thing is huge, because there's going to be grease, there's going to be drippings, there'll be metal chips all over the place. If you need to replace the parts, because otherwise that just sort of creeps me out. Yeah. Anyways, that's the way to go. But again, I try to shy away from like all those heavy duty chemicals. Maybe I'm just getting weird in my old age. Could be a thing. Anyways, that's it. Q&A for this beautiful day. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.